friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm sick today, it's cold outside, and we're gonna dye some yarn. So to get things started today, I have this wool yarn. This is a sock weight 2-strand twist. It is a 100% wool. I don't know what kind of wool, but it's soft. And I am going to be dyeing it with Jaquard acid dyes. Sorry if it's a little echoey, I'm in the kitchen. Sometimes it has a bit of a sound echo. Anyway, first things first, I'm going to put this yarn in the water. I have my pot filled up just a little over halfway with water. I'm going to put the yarn in and we're going to add some vinegar to the water to bring the pH up and get a nice acidic dye bath going. So I started without you, filling up the pot and putting the heat on. And because of that, we've got nice hot water ready to go. So I'm gonna just pop my yarn in, but before I do that, I'm going to add in this much vinegar. This is a 500 milliliter jar. So this is 250 mils, about a cup of white distilled vinegar. And then I've also got some citric acid here. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of citric acid. That dissolved real quick on account of how hot the water already is. And now I'm gonna put my yarn in. And I'm gonna let this yarn sit in here for about 15 minutes just to get fully saturated with the water. As you can see, I actually tied off my yarn in a couple spots so that the dye will not touch those spots. I want to see if I can get some relief, some white patches on the yarn, because I'm making this yarn to match or to complement another ball of yarn for an upcoming project. While that heats up, I'm gonna decide on what colors I wanna use. I know I want it to have a lot of green in it, so I think I'll go with emerald, Kelly, and spruce. So dark green, bright green, and yellowish green. And I think I also want to have some purple in this one and maybe some pink. So purple, pink, green, and then I think brown. Purple, pink, green, brown. Maybe no pink. Pink, no pink. Pink, no pink. A little pink. Hot fuchsia, salmon, burnt orange. Should I have a little yellow in there? Maybe a little yellow. I don't think I need this one. I don't think I need cherry red. I don't think I need turquoise. Sapphire blue. Do I want turquoise? No. Sapphire blue, no. Gray, no. Jet black, no. So I'm gonna put these aside. And I think I want the base to be green, I think. Hard to decide. Maybe I want half of it green and the other half another color. I think I want to start with a dark color. I think I want to start with spruce. And maybe what I'm gonna do is, maybe I'm gonna pull out half of the skein. This is how we do it here. We figure it out as we go. All right, so to start, I'm going to take a wooden spoon and I'm gonna grab one half of the skein. Oh, it's hot because it was in boiling water, obviously. Be careful when dyeing wool. I'm gonna pull it out of the pot and I'm going to lay the wooden spoon across the pot just to keep that yarn out of the water so that we can dye just that little segment first. And I think we'll dye just that little segment spruce green. I think that's maybe a good idea. And I'm gonna do that by just adding some green to the water. And now we'll wait a second until the, ooh, that is dark, until the water goes clear, hopefully. So the water is not yet clear, but I'm fine with that, with the amount of clear that it is. This is not spruce. This is much, I would call that more of a turquoise, but that's all right. It's a pretty color. I do want it to be a lot more green than it is right now though. So I am going to submerge about half of what I let get colored. Actually, I think I'm gonna twist a little too. So I'm gonna give it a bit of a quarter turn, still leaving the white part out of the water. I think I need that spoon again. Put the spoon like that. Does that work? Good. Okay, now I think I'm going to add the emerald green in. I'm gonna do a little less than what I did with the turquoise, because I don't want to have to wait as long for it to absorb, and I'm just gonna let that emerald green take over. Maybe I'll add some of the Kelly green right now too, and just let it fight over who gets to go where. There. And we'll see what that looks like in a couple of minutes. Also, while that is happening, I think I'm actually also going to try and get some speckles to happen. So on the yarn that is outside of the water, I'm gonna sprinkle some yellow and just let it sit on the yarn while I watch the other stuff happen. Yellow sparkles, sprinkles, whatever, speckles, and maybe some pink speckles. That sounds nice, don't you think? I don't know if that's how it works, but oh, okay, well that won't be a speckle. Maybe I'll just add a little more pink there. Now maybe there'll be some speckles here. We'll have to see what happens. All right, it's been a few minutes and the spots where I dropped the pink became very dark. Spots where I dropped the yellow also became dark. I'm going to insert the rest of the yarn into the dye bath now and let everything just soak for a minute in here to absorb the rest of those greens. And then we'll see what we need to do next. I think we're gonna need some brown. This is the yarn I'm trying to make it work with. It doesn't have to be the same or anything. I just want them to look good together. You can see this one has like greens, reds, pinks, oranges and yellows, some blue flecks. It's kind of like magical forest. So this is what I want it to look good with. All right, I've pulled out another little bit and now I wanna do brown, I think. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just add a little bit of brown into the dye bath and hopefully that will be really a good idea. And I think I want to do maybe some brown speckles on the stuff up here. So I'll spread out the yarn like that and get the brown out. And I think I want the brown to have like a warmness to it. So I'm gonna add a little yellow into the water. That spruce came out really cool toned. Okay, I have a plan now. This has sat for a few minutes. I'm gonna pull out the turquoise area because to me it's still got too much blue in it. It's supposed to be spruce green, but it feels too blue to me. So I'm gonna put the side with the pink into the water and I'm gonna pull out the spruce side. And then look, there's still that white, do you see? Perfect, that's what I wanted. And I'm going to try and figure out how to do some kind of speckles here. What color speckles do we do here? Do we do yellow to kind of green up that spruciness? All right, so here's the spruce green. I want to warm it up, and I think yellow is gonna be a good idea here. I think that we're not going to regret yellow. So I'm gonna do some little yellow dots, hopefully, all over this sprucey bit. And then after that sort of sinks in, I'll flip over this section and do the same thing to the other side. Hopefully that's gonna give us some green or yellow dots on the yarn. Hopefully. Haven't done it like this before. Okay, so now for my next brilliant plan. I'm gonna remove the yarn from the pot. I'm gonna put it in the sink, and then we're gonna do more sparkles, sprinkles, speckles on it in the sink with no water, let them absorb, and then put them back into the dye pot. So let's do that. I think I wanna do brown speckles on it. There. Come look. So, got my yarn here. Then I'm gonna take the brown and just sort of go around the entire thing, giving some speckles, hopefully. At least that's the hope. And I think I also wanna add some sapphire blue because, don't judge me, I'm just gonna put it right here. Just a couple little speckles of it. And then I'm gonna flip it over, speckle the other side. Just in the one, oh, not speckles. I lied. No speckles, that's a blue patch. Very good. That's fine. Blue is okay. I like blue. And then I'm gonna add a little more yellow because there's some yellow on multiple areas of the other skein. Kind of want yellow to penetrate in where it's white in here. There. I think that's good. Do we need any more pink? No. Do we need any more green? Yes. Kelly green. Right? There's not enough green? Right. More green is better. Kelly green is a bright green. Spread that out a bit. A little bit of that here. Maybe a little bit of it here. And just a little more over there. That'll do it. We're not going for rainbow this time though. We're going for, it's a rainbow, isn't it? It's always a rainbow. There's nothing I can do. I only know how to make rainbows. All right, I'm gonna come back here in like 5-10 minutes once these colors are kind of in the yarn, and then I'll put it back into the dye bath. And hopefully this was a good decision. I'm a little concerned that the reverse side is not going to have any speckles on it. That's a possibility. But I spread out the yarn, so probably fine, right? Probably fine. All right, I don't know. I don't know if the speckles are gonna happen. I don't know what we're getting here, but something's definitely happened. So I'm gonna bring this over to the dye bath and put it back in. All right, let's see what happens when we dunk this. I'm gonna dunk half of it at a time, just in case. I don't know what just in case of, but not all the dye has absorbed. So once it hits the water, some of it'll bleed out. And that way we can get some different colors with the bleeding. Okay, so now I'm feeling like I want to take off the relief parts because I don't think I want it to be stark white. I think I'd rather have it be kind of a muddy brown there where I've tied extra. So I'm gonna grab this side, I'm gonna put that side back in, and I'm gonna untie this bit here so we can dye that portion. Oh, why so hot? Look at that. Ooh. That's gonna be white underneath. Oh, where the yellow hit looks so good. It's gonna be cool. I can feel it. Oh yeah, look how white it is. It fully did not take any dye where the tie is. Cool. Look at that. Wow, that looks so cool. See where we dropped the yellow in? Hold on, right there. See how bright that got? How pretty is that? Now we're gonna drop this whole thing in, and that bit is gonna get whatever remaining color is in the dye bath. Okay, would this be crazy? If I pull this back out and put it in the sink and then spread out those white spots and put speckles just on those white spots. Is that a crazy idea or a really, really good idea? Because I think it's a really, really good idea. Wait, I have to rinse out the sink first. All right, so here's the yarn. This piece I just untied here. So I think we'll spread the heck out of that. Spread it out as much as we can in the sink. And then this part was dipped, so it got a little bit of that green in it. And then there's one other piece back here. It's hot. It's in boiling water, Laura. Cool, there. So now I'm gonna sprinkle something here. What color though? A bright one. A little bit of yellow, maybe? I think, although wouldn't it be cool to have, no, I'm not gonna be able to do black speckles. It won't work. Black speckles won't work. Yellow might. So let's try golden yellow. Okay. Good, good. I guess now we wait. See what it feels like. I have all this extra dye on my fingers and I want to touch the yarn somewhere. Cool. All right, I'll be back in a few. All right, so my too much jean came in to play again, obviously. I added a little bit of cherry red, speckles, and sunshine yellow. So we have golden yellow, sunshine yellow, and cherry red in these 3 bands. I'm super hopeful that it's gonna look super cool. And then the last thing I did was the last relief tie I did. I untied it like 50% of the way, so you can see there's white on either side of it, but I left the middle part tied up, so I'm gonna put it in the dye bath. These will absorb some color, but the middle will remain white, so I think that's gonna look really freaking cool. Just have to wait a little while longer while these colors sort of absorb into the yarn. I think it's gonna be a really cool skein of yarn. I'm feeling very inspired right now. All right, time to move it back to the dye bath. I'm gonna put this in halfway, get my spoon and leave this part out for now. Ooh, that looks pretty. It's a little bit brighter than I was aiming for, but there's brown still in the water, so I think it's gonna be okay. Screw it, let's put the whole skein in. Fingers crossed, it turns out amazing. I think that's it though for color, so I'm gonna let it sit in here for 10 minutes. Maybe I'll even add a little bit more citric acid. More the better. I don't know if that's true. That's what I've been doing. Probably not true. Anyway, see you in 10 minutes. Okie dokie, let's bring it over to the sink and have a look at what the yarn is looking like. Ugh. Just because this water is so already ready to have a dye bath, I think I'll leave it in case I want to dye something else. And we will have a look at our work. I think that looks real cool. Real cool. All right, now I'm gonna just turn on my warm water, wait for it to get warm. I don't want to shock the yarn. And then we'll give her a rinse. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. The water is perfectly clear. Check this out. That is some good yarn dye. It really stuck to the yarn. The water is clear, so that's awesome. I was expecting at least some bleeding. Nothing. Cool. So here's the one spot that we tied off and did not let any dye hit. It's a nice creamy white versus the spots we tied off and then untied and did some speckles in there. Pretty cool. So now this just needs to dry and I'll show you it when it's all done. All right, are you ready for this? Let me just brighten this up a little bit. My hands are still stained, but ta-da! Here's the yarn. Look at these colors. I wound it into a ball. First I let it dry, then I wound it into a ball, then I put it back on my yarn swift so that all of the speckles would actually show up. And unfortunately we didn't really get actual speckles. Maybe a few, that's like a speckle, right? Maybe that's like a speckle, but we got these beautiful little dashes of white in there. And then we've got little bits of orange and red. So if you've seen my natural dye videos before or my acid dye videos before, you will know I end up with this colorway almost every time, no matter what I do. It ends up being like a forest fairy's dream. I love all of these colors so much. I love greens and browns. I think the blues look really cool in here and the turquoises. I just want you to understand all of the colors. I think it's cool to have these little white bits as well. What do you think? Isn't that neat? And then on either end of each of the white areas, there's turquoise on one side and then like a red on the other side. See here? It's like a red dash. So I think it's going to work up really beautifully into a knit. You'll have to come back for that one because we are going to be making some really cool stuff with this. This was what we were aiming to create a beautiful complementary color for. We were trying to get something that would look nice with this. This is a mulberry silk and this is wool. So I think when we use these together as a 2-strand project, we're gonna end up with some really beautiful, whimsical, magical looking stuff. Isn't that something? I love it. Which part do you like? I think I want to do more of this relief ties on my yarn projects moving forward. I think that stark white is gonna look really cool in a knitted project. Oh, I love all of the colors. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And if you have the desire to try yarn dyeing now, I highly recommend it. It is very, very therapeutic. It feels awesome to create something so beautiful from just a white ball of yarn. Oh, I can't wait to see what this looks like worked up. So come back to check that one out. Now, let's wrap up the video. And friends, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel right now. Here is the list of everyone who is providing support to this channel. If you would like to join, check out the links in the description down below. And a reminder, wear gloves when you do a project like this. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! I think I'm gonna go take a nap.